guys.
A shit show, a pure shit show. It literally takes a village.
I don't know if it was dirty or clean.
Oh my god.
Bad mom.
Like
Gone
that
wild. Yes.
Because I'm shining.
Woo! That was good, guys.
Hey ladies, so who threw your first baby shower?
My mom and my sister-in-law.
Aww. Tell us about it.
Your sister-in-law, your husband's sister.
No. Well, actually, I had multiple baby showers. Now I think about it.
Look at you. Look at you, lucky dog.
So
popularity.
my mom and my brother's wife, but at the time they were just boyfriend and girlfriend. They weren't married yet. But yeah, my mom and my sister-in-law threw one for me up north at my mom's house. And then my husband's sister threw one for us here in Southern California. And then my coworkers threw me one at work.
How cute. Okay, wait. So what were the themes for all of yours?
The
one for your mom.
For the one for my mom, it was also a gender reveal. So no one knew that we were having a boy. Like it was, well, Adam and I knew what we were having, but it was more for like everyone else, especially for my mom. Like it was a surprise for her. So like we did a big old question mark box, and she opened it up, and it was like the blue balloons that came out. So it was like a neutral, I think it was a neutral thing, but it was like king or queen thing for that one. And then the one we had here that my husband's sister gave us was, I think she did like ducks, like yellow ducks, like the cake and the decor were yellow ducks. And then the one at work, it was like a Disney one because I worked at Disney.
That's cute. And did they know, so your friends from work, they knew you were having a boy?
Yeah.
And they still did Disney?
Yeah. So, and they knew like the theme of his nursery at the time was like elephants. So they did like Dumbo and like little elephant stuff.
That's so
cute.
thoughtful.
That's cute.
So we had a duck theme too for my first son, and that was thrown by my mom. So my mom threw a big one and invited his family too. So, and it was at my parents' house at the time, but she did the little rubber duckies, and I really had no input in any of it at all. Nor did I want it. I was just like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm pregnant and exhausted. I don't care. But did you care about a theme, Marianne, or?
No, not really.
No.
I think the one that my mom and my sister-in-law did, I just was like, just make it neutral. Like, don't, like it was pink and blue. So I didn't, I more had input on like the decor than anything else.
But did you get a lot of girl stuff then? What kind of gifts? I mean, I guess.
No, because like on our registry at the time, we did a lot of neutral stuff, like grays or like the tan. Yeah, I did get like a couple pink things, but it wasn't a lot. Like it was like a pink, like the nail clippers. Like, I mean, we still used them. It wasn't like a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Ronnie?
Oh, I thought you were going to say your other baby showers for your kids. Your other two. You have two more kids. Did you have baby showers?
Oh, I thought this was just for your first baby shower. Who threw you your very first baby shower?
You're right. My mother threw my first baby shower, and it was Winnie the Pooh theme.
Aww.
A fun fact is my kids actually call my mom Pooh, like for Winnie the Pooh, instead of grandma. So they call her Pooh is what they call her.
That's cute.
Is that because she's obsessed with Winnie the Pooh, or like where did this whole thing come from?
Because Devin, which was the first child, his room ended up being like Winnie the Pooh. And so I guess we used to say it to him so much. So he actually just started calling my mom Pooh. And then we just kind of like stuck with it. And
how cute.
That's her name. Yeah.
Okay, so then obviously you like the theme because your nursery was Winnie the Pooh too. Did you?
I kind of was forced into
it?
the thing. I didn't have not an input at all. Nothing. They just did it, and it was at my mom's house. So it was super super simple, but a lot of people came, and I got a lot of Winnie the Pooh stuff since that was the theme. So I
So
just
you did
like,
your nursery after the
yes,
thing
yeah.
party.
Isn't that funny how different we've changed? Like, I feel like back then we could care less and we are like more go with the flow. And then now we're like, I need to know exactly, like you
Yeah.
planned your last baby shower down to the T, like the little toothpicks were decorated in glitter, you know, like
I know that's
and I was
terrible.
obsessed
You
with my
did
last
that,
one
really?
too. No, but I'm just saying like
Oh,
she had everything was like custom
it
and
was.
I was obsessed with like planning my last one, well, my last
Work.
two.
Uh-huh.
I planned the next two by myself. So the first one my mom planned, but then the last two
What? I
I
didn't know that.
planned and I like we did the gentleman theme for my middle son and then we did like a secret garden theme
Yeah,
for the baby girl.
See,
I
I knew
remember that.
everyone would want to hear what the other two babies were. We should share it, even though that wasn't
Okay. So
the.
go ahead. What was the other one? So Marianne, what was your second? You didn't
No, she didn't have one
We
for the
didn't have
second
anything
baby.
for
Remember?
Levi.
She
what?
did.
Which
We
is
didn't even have a
crazy.
sprinkle. We had everything. I saved everything
She said,
and we didn't need, I mean, if anything, we should have done like a freaking somebody send us diaper stuff.
You should have.
um, but we didn't need anything. I kept everything other than like his shitty clothes that got like poop stains and stuff on it.
well,
Like
have you heard?
literally shitty
You have
clothes.
you heard some people think that it's almost like rude. Like if you have multiple kids, they think
Yeah.
it's rude for you to have multiple
Yep.
baby showers. That you
Especially
should
if it's
just
the
have
same
one for your
gender.
first. Yeah.
But
So
I thought there's like a rule of thumb, like if they're back to back, then you, or like the closer in age they are, then you wouldn't need to have them. But if they're like 4 years apart, like
that's what
your
I
kids were
feel.
4 years apart,
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you didn't,
I think
because
I was
me
just,
personally, we got rid of so
yeah.
much stuff because we moved
Oh,
so much in between babies and we downsized, you know, and we didn't have a garage all the time. So we weren't going to store everything, you know?
yeah. And I think I made it known to like my mom and them that they saw that we were saving all of land and stuff. And I was like, didn't want to ask anyone. Like no one offered. So I was like, I'm not gonna ask. Like I had the mentality that it is like kind of rude to have
Mhm.
another one. And so I thought about like a sprinkle crossed my mind, but then like I
And
was just like
explain what a sprinkle is because I that was real brand new to me when I
us
heard about it.
instead of a baby shower, you have a baby sprinkle, which is like a shower, but like less.
Downside.
Like it's
Mhm.
downside. It's definitely downside. Like a little, like not as big, like not as many people, or you don't ask for like you don't have a full on registry. And
Mhm.
I mean, we
I
didn't
thought
need
it was
any.
after. Oh no, there's
So that's a
another one
sip
that's
and
called a
see.
sip and
Sip and
see, and
see.
that's
Oh,
after
I've
you
never
have
heard
the
of that one.
baby.
Yeah, that's after
You
you
to
have them.
invite like a small group over, and
Oh,
you
I've
could do
never
like
heard
a
of that.
tea party or something like that, or coffee, and they come and see your baby, and then they bring you gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are popular too for people who like if they have the baby a little earlier than they plan the
The
baby
baby
shower,
shower.
then they like turn it into a sprinkle.
See, I didn't want to know the gender of my third baby. So my plan was to have a sip and see because I thought, oh, I don't want to have a baby shower because I don't want to know what she is, you know? And then my husband threw that idea out the window, but I was thinking like I could just have a sip and see and after she's born, then everybody can come and meet her and bring, you know, gifts there that are gender specific, you know?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
what were your last two themes?
For my second, the theme was jungle theme. And then for the
And did you pick
girl,
that?
jungle theme, yeah, I totally picked that. But I didn't so much, well, yeah, I did kind of plan that one too. But no, always have people who like help me execute it. Like I'll sit there and say,
Yeah,
like, I want this and that, and then they'll put it together because obviously I can't get on a ladder or anything
that's nice.
pregnant. And then my the last one was dream catcher theme. And I
That one was
totally
cute.
planned that one. Thank you. But my one of my best friends that lives in Texas, she flew out to like help me with the whole production. Like She was amazing, making sure everyone got there on time, the flowers, this and that. She had her little clipboard. So she really
You
helped
had like
me,
a
I
dream
think, to
team for
like
that one. I mean, I didn't see
really.
the other one, but that one, I remember like it was as if it was a wedding and everybody was
Yeah.
there while she's getting her hair and makeup done professionally. And I'm like, dude, this is crazy. It was nice.
And it
I
was
was
the first
jealous.
girl, and I in the invitation down to people were like, okay, I sent save the dates for that one for the Harley's baby shower, and then I sent Dreamcatcher invitations that I sat there and glued and made.
They were
You made
legit
them? They
dream
were
catchers,
legit.
people.
Yes, they were legit dream catchers. Yeah. With little logos on the inside. You made those? I didn't know you made those. I thought that you
Handmade them.
ordered them.
No, me and my mom
What?
and my friend from Texas sat down. Well, I'll have to post a picture for our listeners
On
so they
our
can
show
see.
notes.
I think I have the invitation somewhere.
Okay, so let's dive into today's topic about baby registries. Did you guys register online or in stores?
For the first baby, of course, I ran to the store with that scanner. Like I had remember seeing people shopping with the scanner. I'm like, what are they doing? They're registering. So I could not wait to use that scanner. So for the first one was definitely in-store scanner. Second one, I think I did a little bit of both, like online and in store. And the same with third was a little bit
So
of
did
both.
anybody help you with your baby registry?
Uh, the first time, like went with me to like
Yeah, like
scan.
went with you.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so the first time it was me and my husband, who we weren't married at the time, and then I believe my mom went to
How
help.
long did it take you guys?
Oh shit, we were in there for hours because we went to multiple stores, so it took like half the day.
Oh my God, how
Took half
many
the
stores
day.
did you guys go to?
We went to I think 3 stores.
Okay, which ones did you guys do?
We went to Target, Babies R Us, in like Burlington, I think. They had a
Oh,
registry there.
whose idea was that to have so many stores? Like that's a long ass time.
I think I know it was a long time.
I
My
feel like
husband was
one store is
complaining.
long enough,
No, it
but
was one
three.
of my friends who already was a mom. So of course I was like listening to her because it was my first registry. I didn't know what I needed. So I had this friend who already had a baby and was like, oh, you should go to multiple stores in case this store doesn't have it. It'll make it easier for your guests to find if you give them options. I'm
So did
sorry.
it?
Actually, the third place was not Burlington. I lied. It was Bye Bye Baby.
So that was out with your first kid?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know they were already open.
Yeah, Bye Bye Baby. It wasn't big though, like it is now. It wasn't a lot because I remember we had to drive to like Ontario or something um, for that. We had to drive a
Okay.
little distance.
Okay, so then did you do it differently for your second baby?
Oh yeah, second one was just the Target and online.
Oh,
And
okay.
then
Online, do you mean like Amazon?
like Amazon.
Mm.
So
hmm
you had an Amazon registry?
No, wait, did I have Amazon registry? I had Amazon, I'm sorry, I had Amazon for the third baby for Harley. Second baby was Target and Babies R Us.
Okay.
And then Harley was Amazon, Target, and Babies R Us.
Okay, so you still went with the three stores, but okay, but this time around you registered online. You didn't go in store.
Yeah,
Is that
this
what you're
time
saying?
I was smarter and I didn't feel like I needed to go in with that gun. And plus I learned that they have more stuff online
Yeah,
than
they
they
do.
do
Yep.
on. So I had to get hip to that.
What about you, Marianne?
I think Adam and I originally went to the store, so we did Target and Babies R Us because I didn't realize Bye Bye Baby was like a huge thing, and
I
I'm like they
know.
didn't have that in Fresno, so I was like, oh, I'm not gonna do that one because that's only like a Southern California thing, and like we're gonna have our party up in Fresno. They don't even have that store, so I didn't even. It was out of the. But we went to the store and scanned, and then I remember like throughout that same week, I think I went online to add additional things that we didn't see in the store.
So how long did it take you in the store?
Not very long. Probably like a couple hours, hour or two. We were like in Target and Babies R Us, so we were also just like browsing, not really like scanning, like looking to scan. We would browse and like, you know, in Target alone, not even for a registry, I just spend a good hour.
Seriously.
Did you guys have like an idea of what you guys wanted, like a goal, like, okay, I have this list that I have to like get everything off the list, or did you guys just go around just shooting whatever
We
you saw
just
was
kind of
cute?
went around, and like I'm the first one in our like one my immediate family to have a kid, and his sisters have kids, but they're older, so we didn't really know too much, and we just kind of I went based off what I saw like my cousins' kids used or what I thought we would need. And then as I would talk to people, like I would go online and add it.
So nobody sat there and helped you with it, like gave you, like, other than your husband? I mean, he doesn't know either. You both are kind of just winging it.
Yeah, we won it basically.
Yeah.
He was like, let's add an iPad, let's add a big screen. I'm like, no. And he's like, yeah, let's just see if anyone will buy it for us. And if they do, we'll just pick it up. And I'm like, you're crazy.
It's for the baby.
Yeah. He's like, we'll add it to their nursery. And I'm like, you're crazy.
So did you guys do it differently for the your second son?
We didn't have
We didn't do it.
We didn't have a shower for him.
Oh,
So I only had one.
I still can't believe that you didn't have a baby shower. You must have had a lot of stuff for your first son.
Our whole storage room is like filled with containers of clothes.
Wait, you guys have storage room, or like this was in your garage?
Our like part of our garage got turned into like a laundry room, but we also have it as like we have shelves and racks, and we you know, the big storage containers. I would put all of his clothes, and according to like newborns, I'd put it all in one container. His 0 to 3 were all in another, and they were all labeled. All his shoes were labeled.
Oh my God, you're speaking my love language right
now. Our storage is like
away. I gave I used to give you some too, Janelle.
Yeah, you gave me some of,
stuff
I feel
away.
like all your
so
kids'
I had
clothes.
nothing. Yeah.
Ain't no shame. I take a lot of hand-me-downs. Okay, so we registered online because my girlfriend that we had on the show, Darlene, she invited me to register with her the year before, because she had a baby the year before I did, and she had the first baby of the group. So I went with her and her mom and her husband to go register, and we spent like, oh my God, hours there. We each had a gun, and it was just the longest. I was so hungry. You know, it was one of those things that was so long that I was like, no, I can't do this again. So when the year, you know, then I got pregnant, I started looking things up. I don't know if Pinterest was around back then. I feel like it was, but I know I was looking stuff up online, like registry list ideas, or baby must-haves, or, you know, things like that. Yeah. And then I would find it. And I know Target also has like a suggested list too. Yeah. Like, make sure you get 6 onesies and whatever. So we basically did that. When I say I did it because my husband could care less about the registry, as long, you know, so he let me do it by myself. So I just went through the whole thing online, and I feel like it went a lot faster online because they have like suggested items, and it just made it a lot easier. And then as far as like, anybody helping me, my mom would kind of give me like verbally, like tell me, oh, maybe you should get something like this, you know, but I think the times had changed. So, you know, obviously I was 20 something years old. So she didn't know all the cool gadgets that they had, you know. But we only registered at one store, which was Target. I remember wanting to register at Babies R Us, but I felt like, and I don't know if it's because I was broke. So I thought, man, I feel like they upcharge a lot of this stuff and you can get it less expensive at Target. So I just thought I was doing my family a favor by not going to the expensive store.
Babies R Us was expensive.
I know.
In my head, I don't know. No, in my mind, it was I don't know. In my mind, I felt like it was more expensive. So I just registered at Target thinking it would be easier for everybody to kind of see what I already had and compare, you know. Did you
It's because
have multiples? Did you
Target's
have a lot of,
expensive.
did
Target's
you,
expensive too.
well, Target's expensive. Yeah.
Mhm.
But did you have a lot of duplicates because you shopped at like, or because you
Multiple
registered
stores.
at multiple stores? Roni? That was,
I didn't have a lot of duplicates, but I had some. There was some stuff where I definitely had duplicates, but not terrible, like not a ton.
and I remember back in the day when I had my first kid, they wouldn't allow you to exchange things if you didn't have a receipt. So on the invite, I would have to write, please include the
Include receipt.
receipt. Yes, so in case of duplicates, because they had a lot
Really?
more strict rules at Target. Yeah, barely
Wow.
this last yeah, even for Max, they did the same thing. So I asked for everybody's receipt, but or like gift receipts, you know. But for my youngest one, that's going to be 3, there was no problem. They changed the policy, so that was good. You can just
Yeah, I
return
thought
You can
stuff.
just if you're
return.
on the registry and
Hmm.
you show, because I think that's probably why we didn't get a lot of duplicates, because if they got it from the registry, it'll tell you that someone already purchased it. So you just go on to the next.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying. Like, if you had 3 different stores that people could shop from, they would only check the registry at like Target or
So
Buy
I
Buy
didn't
Baby.
put the same thing.
Yep.
Oh, you
I would put,
didn't.
no, I would put different items from each
Oh,
place.
well,
I would,
that
Because
makes a
each
huge
store
difference.
has different things. So
yeah.
like say like we did the same thing, Roni. Like I we looked at the car seats or whatever at Target and at Babies R Us, and then I compared like, okay, I want this one and I
Mm-hmm.
don't want any other one. So I
Yeah.
chose the one at like Babies R Us or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Okay.
remember for some reason Target's system was glitching
Okay.
when people were trying to buy like out of our registry. So somewhat like we got a lot of things that were we got a multiple of a lot of things. Like we got like 2 or 3 of the same like walking toy or
Mhm.
like 2 humidifiers that were exactly the same. But when that person was shopping, they said that it
It
was
was
still
still available.
available.
Hmm.
And it for some reason, like when I went to Target, they said it must have been a glitch. So they allowed us to return or exchange those items without receipts because I
Oh,
would
okay.
I would show them like, okay, I have 2 of the same and this is
Yeah.
from my registry.
And that
So
was 4 years ago.
this
So now
was
I think
like
it's
six
different. I
years
don't,
ago. Yeah.
oh, 6 years ago. So now it's different. You don't even need these items to
Hmm.
be on your registry for you to be
Hmm.
able to return them for store credit
Yeah.
or I don't know if they'll give you cash. I don't think they'll give you cash for
Mm.
it, but I definitely they'll give you store credit, and then I just would use the store credit on diapers or wipes, you know, which and what's cool too is like say you get tons of size newborn diapers, but they're only in newborns for like a month and then
Yeah.
they go to size 1. You can take all those extra diapers and exchange
Exchange
them
them.
for next size up. Yeah. And
That's
then
cool. I never did
Yeah.
that.
oh no.
We did that a
Mm.
lot.
Yeah, so did we. Because I feel like you use more of the size 1 and 2s more than you do like the newborn
Mm.
size, or at least I did because our
Well,
babies were
like
bigger.
for our baby showers, we did the diaper raffle.
Hmm.
So we got a ton of diapers. Like for Landon's first year, we never had to purchase a diaper because we had so many. And I remember having like X amount of newborn sizes, and he was out of those within a month. So I still had like 6 boxes of newborn. And I remember like
Wow.
I think you just have to see which stores carry it. Like even if it was purchased at like Walmart, I think like you can take it somewhere else, and if it's a brand they carry, they'll exchange it.
Yeah.
So like Huggies or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because there's
But
like an actual Walmart brand of
yeah,
diapers that they're not going to exchange those because they don't carry
yeah.
it. But yeah, you're right. The Huggies and stuff. Yeah, that's true.
So
Oh,
we
that's
were able to exchange because I never knew that. Like I never knew you could go and exchange
me
them.
neither.
We
I
just
just
held
found
them
this
in there.
out today.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Today. I was today years old when I found this out.
and I'm like the type that gets embarrassed to go return and exchange things. So I was like, oh, are you sure? Like, is this legit? And like a lot of people said it that you could do it. So I did, and no
Because you don't
questions
want to get
asked. Yeah.
you don't want to get turned away
Yeah.
and feel like a
Wow.
reject. But so for the we did change it, like for the second and third baby. I actually simplified our list a lot more because there was a lot of things that I had swore that I needed for my first baby and realized that I never used. So I feel like our list was so much shorter. And I also, because our babies are like 4 years apart, I feel like there's so many things that are like come on the market
Like new
within those
gadgets.
years. Yeah, new gadgets. So I actually went on Target and would find people that I knew that had babies recently, like within the year. I would type in their registry and then I would look at what they
Oh
registered
my God,
for
that's a good idea
and kind of
though.
seed out like, oh yeah, I remember that being important. And then see kind of what the new gadgets, so
Yeah.
I feel like they would do all the hard work for me. And then I would just kind of just cheat and copy their list.
That's a good idea though, to do that.
It
I didn't
saves
know the
so much
registry
time.
still stays up there.
Oh
For
my
how
God,
long?
yes.
Hmm.
I think, well, I know I did it for that same year. It was just like maybe 8 months earlier. But yeah, they do stay on.
Oh wow.
So
Just teaching me all kinds of stuff.
make your life
Well, you
easier.
may have a baby soon, so you.
What? I'm just
What?
kidding.
Okay, so
No, guys, I'm not pregnant.
I know she's which items did you guys just have to have but never really used? Or like it didn't live up to the hype?
Um, I'll go first because I feel like I have one for each child. So the first one would be a baby bed. This sounds
What
crazy,
do you
but
Like a
mean?
crib?
no, no, yeah, kind of because with my first child, I don't feel like he ever slept in that bed. Like this is the one we would have to take on drives and then keep him in his car seat or lay him with
Um,
us. Or we had a bedside sleeper that worked way better than the crib. I feel like sometimes we like that's our number one thing that moms are like, oh, I need a crib, I need a crib. But sometimes, especially in the beginning, you sleep with the baby by your side. Sometimes, not everybody, but we did a little bedside sleeper, and I feel like it worked better than the crib. As he got
What
older, then I put him in the crib, of course. So I just
what
feel
is
like
a
if you're
bedside sleeper? We're gonna have to link that, but what is that? Is that the ones that like kind of it makes it its own little barrier around the baby and then you put that on your bed?
no, so it's actually almost like a miniature crib style thing that fits on the edge of your so the baby's not in the bed with you and your husband or partner. Like he's literally on the side, and then it has like a little door that you can like lit down for easy access through the night and put him back
Okay.
there. Yeah, we'll definitely link it, but that one worked wonders versus the baby bed because we didn't use the baby bed till later. And then also the diaper genie.
Oh my
I
God, that's
kind
on my
of,
list too.
I feel like I just had to have it. And then after the diapers like got all tangled up and we try to open it and change the bag, like it never worked again like it was supposed to. So it was just like, I was like, I didn't need this. I could just throw the diapers in the
And it
trash.
would smell so
Yes.
bad. I feel
Ew.
like it would, because it could hold hundreds of diapers, that means you
Hmm.
don't have to change it right away. And that hundreds of diapers
Had
smells like
hundreds of
shit in your
smells.
freaking, yeah,
Hundreds
in your
of
room. It
smells.
was disgusting.
I
Yeah.
always heard bad things about it, so we never bought it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Sorry. It wasn't worth all the hype. And then my most recent one with Harley would be like I just had to have this for mom's rocker. It's like that rocker that looks like futuristic and it looks like the baby's floating.
Is it
Yeah.
the kangaroo looking the oh,
Yeah, it looks like
No,
a
it looks like the
mama
spaceship,
roo,
right?
baby roo, or something like that?
it's called for moms.
Oh, it's called one.
Like it's through it, that's the brand, like for
Yeah.
mom rocker. But yeah, it looked all cool, and like I was like, oh my god, it's so cute. I have to have it. It's probably perfect. Harley barely, she did not even like it. Like she barely got in it and she just didn't like it. And I was like, this thing, it was kind of expensive and
Very
mm-mm,
expensive.
didn't like it at all. It was so, I'm like, man, because that's another thing. Like you don't know what your baby's gonna like. Your baby's not gonna like everything that other
Yeah.
might work with other babies, you know? So
Hmm.
those were my swear by items that didn't live up to the hype for me.
Mine were we had to have that uh the baby blender. Like, it's like a
Oh, to
to
make the
blend the
food
food. Yeah, and it's like
plant-based.
almost like
Yeah. The
just a
bullet,
cup.
baby
Yeah,
bullet.
baby bullet, that's what it's called.
Mhm.
I swore I had to have it. I like had it on my registry. I was all hyped about it. And then we got it and I had the baby and I just never had time
You never
to
made the
to
food.
cook the food and slice and whatever and storage all of it. So it just stayed in the box. So for whoever bought that for me, I'm sorry. Um a swing, like just the baby swing, but so Landon hated it. He was in it once and oh no, twice and hated it. But because we saved it for our next kid, Levi loved it. So I think
That's
it's
so
just a
crazy.
baby preference
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
Um, we never, because I breastfed both kids, I never really needed a bottle warmer. Um, the
That
sound
was
machine
that
was
bottle warmer
one.
thing too.
Yeah, the sound machine, like I had it on my registry, was stoked about using it when he was trying to cry and cry and cry, and never worked for either kid. They never took
I thought
to.
on the last episode you said that you use it. No.
No, I tried it and he didn't like.
Oh, it just
So
never
we
took
used
to
the
them.
fan. Yeah, they
Oh,
like the
okay.
sound of the fan.
Mhm.
Um, they neither one really took to pacifiers, so we had like all the different designs, the ones with the mustache, and
Oh my God.
they didn't take their pacifiers. And then the playpen that had a changing table on it. I don't
Uh-huh.
know if you guys have
Mhm.
seen that.
Yeah.
With Landon, he like screamed bloody murder whenever I put him on the changing table part of it. So we
Really?
just took off the changing table and used it as a playpen. But we could have just bought a playpen that was just cheaper.
Without the
Yeah.
changing part.
So I think, yeah, that was it for us.
Speaking of changing table, I feel like I use that pack and play changing table more than I use the actual changing
Changing
table that you
table.
get in your nursery. I feel like the nursery is such a waste of time because
Like the
I
room.
never was in there.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
like
saying
I
about the
Oh,
feel like
bed. That's my point.
yeah, I feel like all my baby gear was in the living room and I had a changing table with my pack and play and I had all the swings and gadgets out there that I never used all the stuff that was in the baby's room, you know? So I had a changing table that I just had to have on top of my dresser and we hardly ever used those kind of things either. But bassinet. So I would say just have either the bassinet or the pack and play, and I would go with the pack and play because you can grow, like the kid can grow in it. Because a lot of the pack and plays now have, like she said, a changing table. It also has like a kind of a bassinet topper thing that you could put
yeah.
them in when they're newborns, and then when they start sitting up on their own, you take it off and then put them down in the actual like playpen area. But yeah, I had a bassinet with my, or like a baby cradle with my first son and the pack and play and all that, and it was just a waste of space. We didn't need it. We definitely didn't need it. Oh, wipers, wipey warmers.
Oh,
Did you
use
guys have them
those.
with those?
I
For
use it.
You
I
you
sure.
still
used
use it
it? You do?
It
for
dried
Levi.
out. My wife sometimes like dried them out.
Yeah.
If it dried out, I would keep it in the plastic and put it in there.
Mm.
I used it for my first baby. I needed to have it, and then I think I used it for the first week, and then I never refilled it because I was like, "This is a lot of work. This is just too much damn work."
That was the
Um,
diaper genie for me.
Landon would cry if they were so cold.
really?
Yeah, and especially because he was born and when it was cold, like well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
But as
So
he got older, he didn't care for it. But like Levi needs it still.
he still likes it. I mean, I'm sure it's more comfortable for the kid, but I just felt like it was so much work. And like I said, the wipey warmer was upstairs in his nursery,
Oh,
and we were always downstairs. So I was like, I'm not about to
I'm not
go all
walking
the way
upstairs.
upstairs just to get warm wipies. His balls are okay with some room temperature wipies. But and that was another thing. Like we had a diaper holder, on that was hanging on the crib. We never refilled that diaper holder because I think it's hard when you have a two-story situation. You have to have kind of like a changing station downstairs and then one upstairs. And that was another thing. Like we never refilled the diaper holder upstairs because we had a box downstairs that had all of them. Oh, the standalone walkers, like the ones that you could push.
You push.
Yeah, those ones, like I had to have that, but I think because we had wood floors, he would
Oh
just lose
yeah,
his grip
yeah.
and always fall.
Oh yeah.
So, and I think they've gotten smarter now and maybe put like a little brake on them. I don't think that they go super fast anymore, but back in the day, he would just slip
yeah.
and fall and eat crap. So that was another thing that I had to have. But recently with my last one, it was nipple shields. When you're breastfeeding, they sell nipple shields so that you don't like bleed or scab or get chapped nipples when you're breastfeeding. So I was nervous about that, so I got them, but I never used them because I ended up using coconut oil to lubricate them, and they were fine, tough as nails. Bottles, fancy boob shaped bottles. You know how like the bigger the breast looking type of bottle, the more expensive, and it's supposed to be better for the baby to latch on and whatever. All that didn't really work, or at least for my kid, she didn't really care for it. Hooded towels. They have those little cute baby towels that have the little hood, and I feel like they outgrow it in 6 months, but you have to have like all the colors. That it was such a waste of time because they outgrew it so fast. Same with the stupid baby robes. I had to have a baby robe. You know how like after the bathtub they have these little
Make
ducky
a lot
baby
of
robes and
those.
stuff.
Yes.
It was such a waste of time because I literally would get him out of the bath, dry him off with a hooded towel, put the baby robe on him just to take a picture because he looked so cute, and then I would transition him to the outfit that he was gonna wear. But really, it's like you never. I don't know about you
Where
guys,
did you
but did
meet
you
this?
guys ever use it
I
like a
Mm-mm.
baby
used
robe?
like the regular ones. For Landon, we did. But somebody bought those for us. But like with Levi, I use Landon's regular hooded towels because they're just big and they'll just cover him anyways. Like
They
Landon,
have
you know how
regular hooded towels.
they have like kid ones. Like Landon
Yeah,
has a dinosaur one
the
and
kids
a
have hooded towels
shark
now.
Oh,
one.
like a kid size one.
Yeah.
See,
So
yeah,
I use that
that's
for Levi,
probably great. But I feel like they outgrow those little
the
baby
baby
ones so
ones.
Yeah, the
fast.
baby ones for sure.
Yeah. And then last is the bottle steamer. You know how they have like
Oh
to
yeah.
To
sterilize your
sanitize it.
bottles,
Yeah.
to sanitize. I'm like, I could wash it. It's fine. My kid's gonna survive. So that's what. And then like you, the bottle warmer too. I did the same thing. So okay, so now that we know the items that were overrated or the things that we didn't use, not that they're. I mean, I'm sure there's a
Just
lot of
for
moms
They
us,
out there
might
that
work
are
works
for
for
like,
us.
some. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that will swear by them and that that they did good for them, but and even us, like I feel like we kind of disagreed on some of them because some worked for you, like the white noise machine, that was like my
Yeah, you
savior,
swear
and
by
that
it.
didn't work for you. So see, everybody's different.
Yeah.
Okay, so which items do you guys swear by that you think is like a must have that every mom should have?
Me first? Okay, so I swore by the swaddle blankets because I wasn't very good at swaddling any of my children. I think I got better by the third time, but I already knew that these existed and they worked better for me.
The ones
So,
with the Velcro. Is that what you're talking about?
yes. Or sometimes I think we even have one with a button, like a little snap. But yeah, it just got them perfectly like little burrito, and they slept amazing once we went through our whole transition. And then also I had a temperature monitor for the
That's,
rooms.
yeah, I remember that you had
That,
that.
yeah, that helped us a
Like a
lot
little
because,
egg.
yep, because my husband always keeps it like super cold in our house with the air condition. So I'm always like worried if the kids are like too cold or too hot. And I'm learning now that they're hot blooded. So 9 times out of 10, they're usually always hot, and I'm the one who's always cold. So that little egg helped me a lot because it would help me keep a monitor on the temperature in the room and knowing to take off clothes or put on clothes.
Now, was that just the temperature of the room or their body?
The
Their
No,
room.
it's
body
the
temperature.
temperature of the room.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's
Yeah.
called an egg grow or something like that.
Yeah.
She'll
It's
link it.
temperature of the, yep. And then I definitely will. And then I would say this is probably my top item. It came later on with the babies get older with teething, but the amber teething necklace,
Mm-hmm.
I swear by it. It helped me get through teething
Amen.
so much that that little necklace is amazing.
So did you
Um,
use the bracelets too?
No, I just use I didn't use the braces. I just strictly used the necklace one.
Because
Um
for moms who are worried about like them being too young for a necklace, or if they're scared about the necklace, they also have the amber teething bracelets,
mhm.
and that you could put on their arms or you could put it
It,
around their ankles too. And it's
mhm.
supposed to have the same or
Okay.
similar effects. I think it's stronger if you do put them on the neck, right? Because it kind of
Yeah, it's
heals
close
those
to it.
glands. Uh-huh.
And I was skeptical about it too because I was afraid that like, okay, this baby gets a hold to this necklace, what's gonna happen? But they make it almost like a choker, but not so tight. So the baby doesn't see it. And so it's like out of sight, out of mind. So I like literally would never have a problem with them trying to pull it off or anything because they make it so um fitting. I wouldn't suggest the longer ones. I know they have longer ones, but that I get scared with the longer ones.
Actually, there
Um,
was an incident with an 18-month-old that was wearing, I think, a longer one, and he had
yeah,
gotten his arm stuck in
yeah, the
it, and
longer
then he
one.
ended up strangling himself and he died.
Oh, oh my
Yeah.
God.
So, yeah, definitely
That's
don't
why the
recommend the
longer one,
longer ones.
yeah, the longer ones just do, yeah, smaller ones work way better. Um, Another item that I was kind of like, whatever, this is gross. And then it ended up being my best friend was the nose Frida.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
yes.
I thought, ew, you're sucking this thing out from their nose. Boogers are gonna get in your mouth. How disgusting. And then that thing has saved my life so many times, especially when my kids having allergies and being all stuffed up.
Yeah.
The time that thing was absolutely amazing. It beats the old school bub that they used
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah.
give. Um, knocks beats it so much. And then last would just be good old fashioned mittens and socks were my go-to because my I always had a fear of like cutting the baby's nails so early because I didn't think I did such a good job. So the mittens would keep them from scratching themselves, and then
Yeah.
just socks to keep. Well, there's squig socks that we used to use that we'll link
They're
that
called
doesn't
what?
squig socks,
What's
and
that?
it's a sock but it stays on your baby's feet. Have you ever had the problem with little babies kicking up
Mm-hmm.
their sock? These socks were made by these moms that had kids and were tired of that happening and losing the socks, so they created a sock that stays on for your child.
Oh,
And
I love it. Yeah, we have to link that because that was a huge problem. Always lose, especially for winter newborns. You always lose their damn socks.
yep, so those squig socks are amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to break it up into like categories just so that if you're writing notes or it'll kind of flow a little bit easier for you. And then also when we share it in the show notes, you'll be able to find things for sleep, for feedings, clothes, gear, etc. So what helped you guys, or what do you guys swear or must-haves for sleep?
Well, I mean, this is before I go into my list, aside from like the registry, I think it's a must that everyone should do a diaper raffle for their baby showers because that saved us so much money.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we, like I said, we didn't have to buy diapers for a whole year. And when Levi came around, we had to buy diapers from the get-go, and it was so expensive. So that's like a must in my book whenever I talk to anybody who I know is planning on having a baby soon.
Definitely.
But yeah, for like sleep, I would say like the swaddle with like the Velcro or the buttons because we had a bunch of swaddles that were like the regular just blanket swaddles and
Mm-hmm.
it was a hot mess. And I in our sleeping episode, I remember I told you guys Landon would like escape and be all tangled in his um a humidifier when there's like especially if they're sick or
Teething too. It helps when they're
oh really?
teething.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Like Roni said, the egg grow.
Oh, you did the egg row too?
Yeah, like and it changes colors, right, Roni? Is that the
Mhm.
one you had?
Yeah, it'll
Because
flash like if it's bad.
I'm, well, me, I get super hot when I sleep, and I've noticed both of my kids do, but my husband doesn't. So
Oh, that's
like
interesting.
our house is always like cooler, or sometimes it's even just like hot in the summer, and he doesn't want to turn on the AC. So it's like, and the nursery, this used to be the nursery, it's like the smallest room in the house, so it gets hotter than the rest of the house. So I had to like monitor the temperature in that room for some reason, especially knowing that they would sweat while they're sleeping.
Okay.
So that was like a must for us. We also had the outlet. I don't know if you've heard of that. And it's like
It's a
there's
camera, right?
no, I don't know if there's, I mean, it probably expanded to like camera now, but it was like a little monitor that you can like wear as a sock, or there's like a clip on for their diaper, and it tells you if they stop breathing.
Wow.
Because like
Mhm.
I remember when they were first born, like so they would sleep in our room for the first 4 months, and I remember being awake at night, like checking to see if their stomach was moving, or I'd put my finger by their nose to feel if they were
Mm-hmm.
breathing, and like I just always had anxiety about SIDS,
Mhm.
um, which is sudden infant death syndrome. Uh, so for me, because once I moved them into the nursery at 4 months, they're still so little. So I was like
Yeah.
always like nervous about that. So we got an outlet, and you can put it, it's like a sock, and it'll like beep if like their
Mhm.
pulse stops, or like there was one that was a clip for their diaper. And if their stomach stops moving, it'll beep like loud. So I remember one time, like we had the clip one. This was before we got the sock. Landon's a mover, and I remember it like moved somehow, or like came off because I think I had him with no shirt on because he was so hot. Um, and it like beeped so loud in my monitor in the next room, and I like ran over, and it just happened to have fallen off. But
Oh my gosh.
it was like a huge stress reliever knowing
Your
that like
mind. Mhm.
yeah, because I would stay up when the baby's sleeping, like being anxious.
Watching
Yeah,
him.
watching him when I could have just been sleeping. So that was like one we like. Um, the monitor, a DockATot. Have you guys heard of a
Oh
DockATot?
yeah, those are
Yes.
newer though. Those
Yeah,
are.
they're
Mhm.
like you can put them in your bed with you, and it's like the barrier. And I know
Mm-hmm.
like when you transition them into the crib, it still helps them feel like they're in a smaller area because the cribs are so big to them.
Mhm.
Um,
Those are really expensive, and they have people on Etsy that make them for like
cheaper.
a third of the price. And
Uh,
they work just as good. I got one. It was
did you?
good.
From
Yeah,
Etsy, you got yours?
from Etsy. Yeah.
What else do we have? Oh, and then like a mattress protector. I mean, I didn't know it at the beginning, but like for the crib, like there's an extra like a lining you can put. So if
Mm-hmm.
like
Leaks and
they
stuff.
leak through their diaper, or like Landon
Stay
would
up.
They
sweat or
do.
throw up.
They do.
Yeah, and it's like a bitch to have to clean all the time. And it's like instead of having to clean the mattress, it stays, it's protected, and you don't have like a gross mattress. But that's
Yeah, we have that
what we
too.
did for like sleeping wise. That's what things we needed.
Yeah.
Right.
So for Sleepwise, I would recommend gifting the book Baby Wise.
Oh, for sleep
And
training.
yeah, for sleep training. And then the rock and play. So we had have you guys heard of the rock and play where
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
it's kind of like a bassinet, but it's at an angle.
Oh
So
my God, yes.
yeah, and we
That's
used
what
to
we
love it
use.
because it kind of folds up and you can take it wherever you want or to whatever room. We love the rock and play because it would have the baby kind of sleep at an angle. So if they were congested, maybe they had a cold or they were like they had to spit up or whatever, it would kind of just trickle out the side. Like you wouldn't have to worry about them choking on it because they weren't laying flat.
They ran an
So
incline.
yeah, and
Mhm.
you can sleep. I think you could sleep in that rock and play for like the first 4 months.
That's what the boys
Um,
slept
and
in
then
our
what
room.
I would recommend, I don't know how they make them
And
now,
once
but
again, no crib.
yeah, exactly. So we didn't need a crib for a while. And then what I would recommend too is they have, because it's kind of like a plastic underneath the rock and play, it can kind of give them a flat head. So that's what happened to my second son. So we would there was like a head shaping. I have to link it. It was awesome. It was for car
Really?
seats too, but it just kind of kept a round head pillow type thing. And I would switch it from the rock and play to the swing to the stroller to the car seat. And this way,
Wow.
because my middle son they were saying, oh, he's probably going to have to wear a helmet because his head was
To
shifting and it was kind of
reshape it.
flattening on one side. So they wanted to reshape it if we weren't strict about kind of rotating him. So we really try to rotate him. He still doesn't have a super round head, but we didn't end up having to use that helmet. But for my third one, because I wanted to avoid that altogether, I ended up getting her this little pillow insert thing that you can put on all the sleeping gears or sitting gears, and it would keep her little head round. So it was
That's
kind of,
cool.
yeah, so that was awesome too. We did the swaddles and stuff too, that we swore by them too. And then there's a when your kid starts getting kind of too strong to climb, like to tear out of the swaddles, there's a suit that's called a Magic Merlin suit. And it's like this little puffy, like Michelin man type of suit. And it keeps them from still waking themselves up when they have like startle reflex. So that we swore by. We probably used that from like 4 months to, gosh, I want to say all the way to almost a year until they
She didn't
started
get too
crawling.
hot in it.
No, because we kind of kept her room cool,
Oh.
you know. Um, and I think it just so happened that when she was using it, it was kind of during the winterish time.
Mhm.
But then there was a transition into once she started getting up and crawling, like around 8 months, then we transitioned her to a sleep sack, which has like the cut off arms, and it's just like a little
Mm.
sack, like a potato
Mhm.
We
sack.
had that.
And that's instead of putting a blanket on them,
Yeah.
because this way they don't put it over their
It's a
face, or
Yeah.
blanket.
you don't have to worry about SIDS and stuff. So that was another cool
We
thing
had
that we
that.
had.
I forgot
Yeah.
about that one.
I know. I feel like you guys are all mentioning things that I was like, it was either on my list, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that was a good
Taking
one.
it back, huh?
Yes. Okay, so let's talk
That's
about
funny.
feedings. What are some of the things that you guys, oh, wait, Roni, did you have any that you wanted to add onto this one?
Since I did mine kind of wrong. No, the only thing that I would add for sleeping is I remember it kind of worked with Devin a little, and it's like so old school. I don't even know if people still use them. The baby mobiles that you put at the
Oh, the
top,
ones at the top.
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, that play music and stuff. He used to
Did they
kind of
still
like
make
that.
those?
I know that's why I'm like, I don't even know because
They
I didn't
Me
make
use
the
them with
too.
the
ones
other
that
two
are
kids.
projected onto the ceiling.
They're
I've
probably
seen
all
those now.
fancy now.
See,
Those
but
ones.
that's one of those things that I never used either. I
Mm-hmm.
never really
You
wounded it
know,
up because I just wanted him to go to sleep.
Yeah,
But so
they
you guys used
say
yours?
it worked
I
for him.
used it with the first baby, but I
Oh,
didn't get it again because we didn't use it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever I did use it, it would like relax him or soothe him for the
wow.
time being. Hmm.
Some people say it keeps their kids like awake, like their minds are still active
Hmm.
looking
The
at those.
same with those ones that you put on the side of the crib and it has like little fishes swimming
Oh
and a
yeah,
little
Oh
music
yeah.
I've
playing.
seen
Hmm.
that.
we had one of those, but then we never used it because I was like, I don't want them playing in their crib. I want them to go to sleep, you know?
Right.
And then I read too, like, not to put toys in the crib because that's just going to kind of confuse them and make them think it's playtime rather than sleep time. So we kind of try to separate that after like the second or third baby. But that was definitely one of those things that we never used the one little toy fishies on the side. Okay, so for feedings, what is a must have?
For me, I breastfed. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get it till Levi, but I should have gotten it with Landon too. The Haka, and I talked about it in our breastfeeding one. The one where like you just stick it on one boob while they're feeding on the other boob. And I swear it would make like a bottle's worth. So instead of wasting it into a nursing pad, you can save that. Nursing pads. And then they have that Lancino breastfeeding. It's like a starter kit though. So it comes with like pads, the nipple ointment and all that. So like, and even like the gel packs, you know, so those for breastfeeding.
Which those gel packs, you could heat them or
Yeah,
freeze them,
yeah.
right? Which
Yeah.
is different. Like, when do you need to freeze them? If you're drying out, and then you heat them if you have clogged milk ducts, or because there's like a certain time.
I would do it when I would be like engorged and it was like hurting.
You would freeze them or heat
I'd
them?
freeze them because if I heated them, it would let out too much. Like I'd let out.
Oh,
you know,
the flow would be.
Yeah,
so
if it was
fast.
too warm, because the heat is supposed to help release letdown.
Oh.
So, and then I think the heat I would use like when I was trying to stop at the end. You know what I'm talking about?
So kind of dry up your milk.
Yeah. What else?
But if you have like a clogged milk duct, you need
you can do the warm one too if you had the clogged one.
Loosen it all up. Yeah.
We had, instead of like a legit high chair, we had like it was called like a portable one, and you just add it onto your dining chair. And it like, I mean, it was nice for us because it was easier. Like it didn't take up an additional space in our kitchen, or like when I would go to my family's house up north, like it was easy to just travel with. So there was that, and then there's also like the portable high chairs that you can bring to restaurants instead of having to use the restaurant one, and you clip it. Yeah, you clip it on to the tables. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, so we had like a portable one. So it's obviously when the kids can sit up. It's one that like folds, and it just is like a small thing, and then it unfolds and you clip it onto the side of the tables at restaurants so that you don't have to use their disgusting ones sometimes. Like some places were gross. And it's like cloth, so, and then their feet just dangle, but the clips are like super strong, so it like holds them.
Where do you guys get all your portable stuff? Because you guys even have like a portable, not hack and play, but where they stand inside of it. Remember for the beach, you guys had one where you put the baby, and it's kind of made of a canvas, but you like,
it's like a standing one.
Standalone.
What is it called? I'll have to link it, but we have that too. We did it online, a lot of this stuff. And it's funny because I just see like other people have them, and I'm like, oh, we need that. Like, especially like when we would go camping and I didn't want him on the dirt or.
Yeah. So, and that was awesome because you guys took him to the beach and you were able to stand him right there.
Yeah.
His little portable stander thing.
So a lot, like, because we travel a lot, like we would always go to Fresno or we go camping, a lot of our stuff needed to be portable and travel friendly. What else did we need? And then my neighbor just had a baby, so she is like more like leaning towards formula now that she's back to work, and she was saying the baby Breza
Oh yeah,
is like a lifesaver for them now. But and it's like a Keurig almost, but for a baby formula. So you just, like what a Keurig looks like, the coffee maker.
Does it come out the perfect temperature or something?
It's already heated. You just put push a
Put a
button
bottle
and
under
put the
there.
bottle, and you just push the button, and your formula is
Oh my
ready.
God, that sounds so awesome. You don't have to
So
shake it and stir it
no,
or
you
all
don't
No,
that
need to
stuff.
warm it
exactly.
up. It's like a Keurig for formula, basically.
Mhm.
And then
That's
like the
exactly what it is.
Boone grass dryer. I don't know if you guys ever use that, like to dry your
Mm,
bottles on, and it's like grass, and then you
Mhm.
can
yes.
add the extensions, like the tree branches for other things.
I
Mhm.
like that one because the tray underneath it, you were able to slide it out, rinse it
Clean
off, put
it.
it back. Yeah, so it didn't like mold. Because some
Yeah.
of them I remember, if you didn't wash it all the time, which is hard to wash them, because they have all these little gadgets on them. I noticed that they would have like build up like gunk and stuff on them. So those ones I remember I liking those grass ones.
Yeah. Those are my feeding things.
So we had like a backup formula. So my plan was to breastfeed, but I had like a backup formula can just in case. And I didn't want to use the one at the hospital because I remember the one at the hospital for my first son. Um, I don't know if he had acid reflux or something, but he just had a negative reaction to it. So I bought, it was babies only organic formula. And they sell it online on Amazon for a lot cheaper, but you can get it at the health food stores like Sprouts and stuff. So I figured if I'm going to go formula, I wanted to try to do like the organic way, the organic style. So I had a can of that just in case my milk didn't come out in time. And then the Lanceno bottles, the Lanceno brand,
Mhm.
we talked about it on the breastfeeding one, I think, but they have these bottles that every single one of my nieces that have breastfed had an easy time transitioning to these bottles, and they don't have a fancy boob shaped nipple. It's just a regular
Bottle.
bottle, but it has like a slow like a I want to say like a slow flow. So they are, if those are that are breastfeeding are used to like, working for their
That
milk,
natural.
it's like perfect for them. And it doesn't have the whole gas. You know how like those fancy bottles, Dr. Brown and all that had all those like fancy
Like
little
prevent
gadgets to go
gas.
to
Yeah.
prevent gas. Like they don't, they have like a something in their nipple that helps prevent the bubbles and gas and stuff. But I swear by them. I feel like a lot of the people that had told me about them swear by them, so they're good.
So it's a good
Um,
product.
Nipple shaped pacifiers. So if you are breastfeeding, get pacifiers that are as close to the shape of your nipple up as possible. So if you have long, thin nipples, get the long, thin pacifiers. If you have wider, round nipples, get the wider, round pacifiers because the baby will I guess prefer it better because they're already used to your
Oh, is that why
nipple.
my kids didn't like pacifiers?
So maybe that's why
I never knew
they
there were
didn't like
different
it or
ones.
particular. Yeah, they have some ones
Different
that are
shape and
bigger,
everything.
smaller, yeah, different shapes. So
Hmm.
we we learned about the pacifiers. And then oh, when they get a little bit older, when they're transitioning out from their bottle to a sippy cup, we would get those soft tips, silicone sippy cups.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
And it was perfect because they still could like suck on it because it still had the silicone tip, but it was like the shape of a sippy cup, so they would get their like that worked for us. What about you, Ron?
As far as feeding, so I do have the Dr. Brown bottles on here
Did you
because
love them?
they were okay. They worked. It's just I didn't love the cleaning process with
Yeah.
all those little compartments and little gadgets. I did not like that. But as far as serving its purpose, it did. That just wasn't fun. And then I found bottles from Tommy Tippy.
Oh yeah.
These little small
Yes,
bottles,
I
those
remember.
help for feeding too. Because I said this on our previous show, I tried the breastfeed and it was an epic fail. So we did bottles quickly. Also, that worked for me was bibs with the cup
Catcher.
catcher. Yeah, those were really good for us. Those along with the mats that you put under the high chair for all the food that the catcher
Oh.
didn't catch, I would have to have those all the time because I had messy eaters. My last one was definitely a messy eater. Middle one, when he was done, he would just be like, done. So those little mats helped us. And then also, one of the things that I really liked for feeding was the spoons that you can already put the food in.
Oh, I've
So
seen
you can
those.
travel
Yeah.
with them and you can just feed them and you squish the food kind of out and it goes in the spoon. So you don't have to have any extra like dipping and bring all those
Hmm.
extra jars and stuff.
Oh, that's
So
awesome. You know, you reminded me the bibs. We used to use those bibs that had like a plastic liner on the inside of them. So they were like a cloth bib, but on the
mhm.
back of them had like a plastic liner,
And I get
or
them all
they
soaked.
like, and this way they didn't soak into their clothes because we had a
Mhm.
lot of drooly babies. My last one, actually, they've come out with better ones that have the plastic liners that it's actually inside of the cloth. So
Mhm.
now the front and back has plastic, and I'm sorry, the front and back is the cloth, and then the inside is the plastic liner. So it's, I guess, more comfortable for them, or they don't sweat or whatever. But
Mhm.
because we use that amber necklace, the amber teething necklace for my third, she hardly drooled. So she didn't even need all of those
Yeah, that
bibs.
necklace is amazing.
But my first two boys, they definitely needed those liner bibs because they would just go through every bib that had like those fancy bibs that look cool, those ones that look like bandanas. They would just
Mm.
drench
Just
right through
go
them because
right
they were
But
like
through.
for
super
eating,
drooly.
like I only liked one type of bib when I was feeding them, and it was like the cloth. It wasn't, I mean, it's not cloth, but it's like soft up top, but the bottom's silicone, like the catcher part is
Oh, the
silicone.
catching. Yeah,
So it was
yeah.
easier to clean, and
Mm-hmm.
like the top was still soft. Because like
So how would you clean the top though?
you
The
just,
soft
it's
part,
still like, it's
wipeable?
still wipeable. So it wasn't
Okay.
like really cloth, it was like a plastic-ish, but it was soft. So it wasn't like a whole, there's bits that are all silicone,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we have
and
those.
those were like uncomfortable for the kids. So like
Okay.
the ones that just like they were just like a Velcro on the back, but they were soft up top. But because the silicone was the catcher part, it was easier to clean
Yeah, that
for
catch
us. Yeah.
worked good.
And Roni mentioned a mat underneath the high chair. What about those mats that you take to the restaurants that you tape on the table so the kids, when they're learning
Oh,
how
we
to
used to have
eat?
those.
Mm,
Yeah, there's like these not table, placemat
Yeah,
type of things, but they have
they
like a
were
seal that you could
disposable.
tape them to the tables at the restaurants. And we would just dump like all their little Cheerios or whatever,
Yeah.
and then that would keep them busy forever.
yeah.
And
Um,
it'd be like Mickey Mouse or Sesame Street. So it was like
yes.
entertaining for them.
Yeah, I swear by those too. Okay,
Those
so
were
what
cute.
about for clothes? What do you recommend people to have on their registry?
Um, I would say not a lot of like a newborn because they grow out so fast. Like we did a
Mm-hmm.
lot of onesies, but I don't know, like for us, clothing wise, we didn't ask for too much because we my husband and I are kind of a little bit picky, but we also got a lot of hand me downs. So like I didn't want a whole bunch of clothes just hanging around.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like I remember having drawers and drawers of newborns, and so like we had some that didn't even get used because they grow so fast.
You
Yeah.
do.
But like we always like just wanted onesies. Like it was more convenient, especially the
Yeah.
ones that like you can pull off downwards instead of
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Clothing wise, that's what we did.
Did you know that the reason why they make the onesies with the little like
Slit or
crisscross
yeah,
is so that you could pull them down if they
yeah.
have like an accident? You don't have to pull it up over their head.
Like if they
For
poop.
my first two kids,
What?
I never knew that. And I would always pull that shit over their
Me
head.
too. And
But
try to
Oh,
stretch
yeah,
it and if I'm gonna get in their hair,
they have those little
so you
creases so
pull
that
them
you
down.
can pull them down.
Because
that's
Lennon
what they say.
always pooped up his clothes, so we always just pulled those over his shoulders.
Yeah, I never knew either.
Wow.
You were so funny, Rooney.
I'm like, Well, how come I didn't know any of this?
Yeah, I know. I never
And
knew
it
either.
doesn't like stretch it either. Like it still
Mm-mm.
stays the
Because
same.
it's made for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marianne, you
So
knew that right off with your first one? You knew that that's how you do the onesie?
I think I saw it on like, you know how it comes with like the tag or like some of them have like
stop
the
it right
paper
now.
on the
Does it?
hanger. Well, we had like, the white, just plain, like we had a pack of white onesies. And on the hanger, there's like a cardboard that they'll put. It says on there.
You would read the directions on the package.
Well, I
Well, I
sure.
think I originally looked at it to see like how to wash it. And then
Okay.
I saw that you could do it that way. And I was like, oh, he just shit up his bag. So let's just pull it down.
So all those onesies I threw away.
So we swore by those. Okay, so they didn't have them for my first two sons, but for my most recent child, they had pajamas or outfits that would zip down. So you would connect them to at the top. They would zip down so that if you, in the middle of the night, if you had to change their diaper
You didn't have
or
to take their
you
whole.
wouldn't have to take the whole thing or expose their chest, you would just have to zip up from their leg
Yeah,
and then take their bottom out and
Mm.
change their diaper and then just zip them back down.
those were nice. Yeah.
Those
Yeah,
were
those are
so
newer. We
nice.
didn't
And then
have
so
those
you
with
you don't
first
have to
one.
deal with stupid snaps, those damn snaps in the middle of the night. I don't think I ever would snap all the snaps. I was like a 3 snap kind of person, just
Whatever
one on
kept it
each leg
on.
and
Snaps
then
you
the
out.
crotch.
We snaps you out.
Yeah. But those zip down jammies were the best. Also, uh I don't know. Is it ghetto to register for wipies? I feel like just as much as you need
Wipies?
Diapers,
diapers,
you
you
need
freaking
wipes.
need
Oh,
wipies.
Yeah,
I had
it
that on
goes
there.
hand in hand, I feel like.
Okay, good. Because yeah, wipies for sure. Because you run out of those things super quick. And I swear by those Target brand, Up and Up brand wipies.
Really?
The unscented ones are awesome. Because I
You
don't know. I
liked their
think
diapers too, didn't you?
yeah, I did. Oh yeah, I like
I
their
didn't like their
diapers.
diapers.
It depended on which kid. Like my first kid, I didn't like the diapers for them, and I don't know if they've evolved or what, but I like their diapers for my third kid.
Mm.
Washcloths, that it's a glove, like a glove washcloth. I felt like it made it so much easier to like
Clean them.
like a hand, like hold the newborn and then kind of, because they're so wiggly and
Oh yeah.
slippery
Mhm.
and you just want to get in. And if you already have it and you don't have to keep spreading it out in your hand, I really like the washcloth glove. And burp rags, tons of burp rags. My kids were big spitter uppers, so we used a lot of burp rags.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Roni, do you have
Um,
any?
I would probably say for sure onesies, and especially since I know that's what the top does now, because I had no idea. Um, Also, that kind of went with the clothes that I would use. It's not a clothing item, but the size rings, when I was
Oh,
organizing the baby's clothes, the size rings came in handy because it would let me do 0 to 3, 6 to 9, and so on and so on.
Oh, for the
Also,
closet.
yeah.
yes.
And then also what I really loved was the sleeping gowns that are like cut out at the bottom. Those were so
Mm.
easy
Oh, yeah,
because for
those.
middle of the night diaper changes. So those will probably be some of mine
And
as
when
well.
you're organizing your clothes with those little hanger things, I wouldn't go by the tag because I feel like a lot of the tags sometimes, depending on the store that you get it from, are completely
Brand
off. Like I
smaller.
would have something that said 3 months and it was a size of a 9 month,
Mhm.
and vice versa. So I would go and literally just size
With
it up and put them in groups of like how big it looks, than what the number, because we wasted a lot of clothes for my first kid because a lot of them said 12 months, but really they would have fit
They
him
were
at six
smaller.
months, and then we never got to wear them because,
I
some
always noticed that the Walmart one, the
Mhm.
Gara Animal one. Oh my gosh, what is that brand called?
Granimals. Granimals.
Granimals.
Mhm.
That one always ran smaller for me,
Oh,
at least. I don't know if that's true for you guys.
I
But I
don't.
think
Like
it
way smaller.
depends on the kid too, because some kids, I mean, the size can say 0 to 3 months, but I know there could be like a 5-month-old that still fits in the 0 to 3.
That's
But
true
it
Yeah,
too. I
just
had large
depends on the
children.
child.
true
Yeah.
that.
Oh, and then those drawer cubbies. Did you guys have those drawer separators?
From
So you
Yeah,
kind
I
of,
IKEA.
have it.
yes, they're
Still
like
have
five
them.
dollars, and you put the little boxes, and then you can put organize their little socks, because everything that they have is so tiny, and it's nice to have a separation and
Okay,
a place for it.
random
Use
question
those.
aside from like
Como?
registry, because like my cousin's having a baby and she was asking me about this. How did you guys put them in those little separators? Like, did you fold them like regular clothes or did you roll them? Like, I told her I rolled them and it
I,
was nicer when you
I
put them in
roll.
drawers.
I think in the beginning I rolled before they were actually born, and then after that I just tossed them
Threw it
in.
in there. You just threw it in there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Serious. But
So,
it
but
is
are you a roller period? Like, do you roll your own laundry? Are you
Because
pretty
my
good
clothes
at
are a
folding?
lot bigger, like with the little
Like my
little baby.
mother-in-law rolls their
Her
clothes. Like
clothes,
she used to roll all of my
like the
husband's
t-shirts.
t-shirts
What?
and jeans and everything else. So, but I just don't have time, or I don't want to spend my time on that. So I just,
I roll my like towels and washcloths and stuff like that. And I still have that organizer in the kids' room. And then I'll roll their underwear and stuff like that. Well, not my oldest ones, but the younger ones, and put them in there, the compartments, so they can find them.
that's
But
awesome. I'm
I
too
roll
lazy. I will admit I'm lazy.
lazy too, but it's
I'm
easy.
lazy too.
Okay, so what about toys?
The tummy time mat, like with sensory stuff, like
Hmm.
like because when they're little, they're supposed to do X amount of tummy time. It's not a toy, but it's like the boppy.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they have
Um,
others.
I'm trying to think of toys. Sorry. I didn't really do a lot. Like sensory toys and like teething toys were for sure for us. I didn't really do a lot of toys because I feel like a lot of the toys didn't get used until they were older. Like,
Did you like within the first year, did you guys use like a bouncer, like a baby bouncer or any of those like walkers or anything like that that
oh, you know
you
what?
swear
Like
by?
the walk, I mean, I didn't swear by it, but they used it because we had it. Like the walker one that you had, but we have carpet in our house, so it
Okay,
wasn't
so it
like,
worked for you.
yeah, our hallways are wood, but I wouldn't let them because I did notice they would just slide and fall.
Hmm.
The boys didn't really use the bouncer like that just stays put. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about? We didn't really have that for them.
So there was when my 7-year-old was a baby, they had this really cool bouncer that had these like tall arms. I couldn't find it for my third, but they had these tall arms and they had kind of like these little bungee cords. And so
Yeah,
he was just able to bounce
bounce.
like a crazy person, and he loved that thing. So that there's that bouncer. And then
We have
us,
that too.
oh, you guys had one too?
Hmm.
Did he like it or did they
Yeah,
like it?
they like it.
Then there's the stand activity table, those little tables that have all kinds of buttons and
Oh,
stuff that
like
they
the
could press.
music ones.
Uh-huh. My kids, before they knew how to walk, they would learn how to pull themselves up on it and just kind of stand at it and like just kind of wobble but play on it. So that was really cool. There's also a really cool walker that goes in circles. And I got it for my
Oh, I've
most
seen
recent
that.
kid. And it's like, it's a activity center in the center activity center in the center. It's activity
Hmm.
table in the center of it, and then there's like a little baby chair that's connected to it that they could walk, like stand
Oh
and walk, and
I've
they
yeah,
seen
could
that.
walk all
definitely.
around it. And
Yeah.
my daughter used to just run in circles, and that I feel like that helped her like learn how to
Motor
walk.
skills, huh?
But she loved it. um and this is not a toy, but it's something that was cool. Was those it was called super simple songs. They were like ABC songs and 1 2 3 songs, and they taught
Like
the
on your iPad.
colors. It was on YouTube, so I would
Oh,
just like on the times that I needed her to, whatever, preoccupy herself, I would put that on, and it would just kind of sing to her like 1 2 3, and educational songs. So that was free.
we do Coco Melon.
Even back
Mhm.
then? Oh,
Oh,
recently,
like
because
right now with
Yeah,
Levi.
recently.
okay. Yeah, because that wasn't. I don't think Cocomelon
Back
was around when she
then,
was little.
I
back
don't think
then
so.
it
Or we
was
didn't know
like the
about it.
ABC. Oh my gosh, what is it?
Elmo.
Yeah.
And Baby Shark was when Landon was small too.
Oh, okay. Roni, do you have any toys or
Pink
anything
Fong.
gadgets?
Um,
What'd she
so
say?
for toy, she said ping
Pink
pong.
Fong. That's where
That's
that
Baby
Baby
Shark.
Shark came from, was
Baby
Pink
Shark.
Fong.
Okay.
um, for us, so we had the baby gym that was pretty good. We had the bouncer, like almost like the one that you had with the little strings, the bungee jumping thing.
Mhm.
And then with, I think my last, she didn't like the jumpers so much, so we had the doorway swing bouncer.
Mhm.
She loved that. We would hook it up in the doorway, and she would just go to town in that thing. Um, and then we had a regular swing, but funny thing for that is she didn't like all of like the fancier newer swings. My mom ended up going to like a consignment store, and she found like an old school swing, like the one that almost that you have to
Crank.
crank up on the side, and she absolutely loved that.
And it was bigger, so it would hold her for a
Mhm.
longer period of
Yes,
time, right?
yes, yes. That was a good buy because I was like, I didn't even think of that, and it worked so good. Um, and then we just did a lot of wooden toys, especially with my first. We did like wooden blocks and wooden trains and just a whole bunch of wooden toys
Like
in the
little
beginning.
puzzles and stuff like that.
Everything was like wooden. It was supposed to be better. So I was like, oh, I don't want anything with lead in it or anything with this. So I did all wooden
There's a
toys.
brand that does a lot of wooden stuff. Is that
Melissa
Melissa and
Doug.
Doug?
Yeah,
Yep.
Melissa Doug. So, okay, so what about for baby gear? Like we're talking car seats and stuff like that.
I swear by the click and connect for car seat and
Oh, yeah,
stroller.
for sure.
And my jogger was a click and connect. We
And
did
I
both
didn't know
though.
that they had joggers with click and connect. That's like newer.
Oh, is
Yeah, I
it?
didn't.
Yeah, because they
That
didn't
is
have that
good.
for our kids,
Not at all.
our
That
older
was
At
kids,
like
I
least
should
not for
say.
our older ones.
Yeah.
6 years ago was when we did ours. Because Landon's 5.
Yeah, that's really
Um,
cool.
yeah. So we had one that was like compatible for like the car, the stroller, and the jogger. Um, an extra car seat base, for like multiple
Oh.
cars, so that
Mm-hmm.
it was so you didn't have to like because we had 2 cars, so you didn't
You
have
could
to.
buy them separately without buying the whole car seat. You could buy just the
Yeah,
base.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
The thing. See, I'm not the only one learning stuff.
A car seat base, like the mirror, so that you're not breaking your neck to constantly look back, like
Yep,
the mirror
Yeah.
that goes
for
to the
sure.
the head, the chair head thing. Oh my goodness, the window shade for the car.
Did you guys use that too?
We used it, but we
Yeah.
used one that just stuck. Like you could just always pull it off. It wasn't like one side was plastic, so it was just you just stuck it on the window. It's not one that you had to like
So if you accidentally
screw
ran the window or rolled the window down, it would come off.
like part of it, like but by the time you see that it's starting, you would stop. It was like a
Oh.
little one, like you just easily pull it on and off if you wanted to move it to a different window. Um, a diaper bag that is comfortable. Like I remember having like a nice fancy one for when I first had landed, and it was so like the single strap one, and my
Oh
diaper
yeah.
bag was so heavy that I just like messed up my back with just. So I like the double strap ones, like the backpack looking ones,
Yeah.
because I always carry so much crap in my thing.
That's a
Um,
good one.
what else did I do? That portable stander that you were talking about, like we took it to the beach, we took it camping. The bathtub, like the
Mm.
baby, the cloth one, but it was like Oh, it wasn't the
Oh, was it a
flower one.
flower one?
No,
Oh,
No.
it was
no,
like
no,
a
that was
net. It was like a net one
Oh,
for the
okay, okay.
bathtub.
So the water would just kind of go through it.
Yeah, yeah. The
huh.
Bumbo, the Fisher Price sit me up chair, like when they can't really sit up by themselves yet, but it sits them up.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of that? The nail file kit. What else? Oh my gosh, I have a lot of things. The car seat cover,
Mm-hmm.
like to cover them if it's like when you're just walking around.
And they even make those to use for nursing too. It's
Yeah,
like
you
a two
can,
in one, which is pretty
yeah,
cool.
and you can wear it as a scarf incognito.
Yeah.
There was a lot. The forehead scanner for the thermometer. Um, oh, I
Oh
have
yeah.
books on here. It wasn't on there earlier. The nose Frida that Brony mentioned. That's it right now that I can like really think of.
So for baby gear, we really used this a lot. It was that baby wrap carrier. I think it was Moby from Target. And it was one of those that you can tie and crisscross and you can do all kinds of
Oh,
different patterns. And I was always opposed to it for my first two because I'm like, I thought it was like a hippie stuff. And I was like, I don't have time for that. Just give me the little backpack, the front backpack thing, you know? But I actually got it as a gift this time and I used it and it's not as hard as
I
you
think it
or
is.
as I thought. And it's
Mm-hmm.
so cool because they're just kind of cozied
Snug.
on you, and especially if you have multiple kids, it helped a lot to be like hands free. And I want to say people even breastfeed with it, but don't quote me
mhm.
because I don't want your kid to suffocate. So,
But would
but
your
it was
husband use that one too? Or did
I yeah,
he
there were times where I would tie
really?
it to him. Like, not, I mean, I want to say I don't really remember him doing it in public, but like if we were
Around
around
the
the
house.
house, yeah,
Oh, see,
he
because
would
we
wear
had
it.
the backpack looking carrier, but see, my husband always used it. So it
Okay.
was like easy for both of us to use.
We had both. We had that one with the smaller one, and then the wrap was
I
my
couldn't do the
savior.
wrap. It was like
No,
too much work for me, I think.
it was, but it was
It
worth
worked
it because it
great.
would even
Hmm.
out the weight and it wasn't just all on my back. I don't
Yeah,
know, the
that's
way that
true.
the ties and stuff, it was pretty cool. Car seats. So I liked the car seat kick, like that Marianne was saying, to get the jogging stroller with the newborn car seat that comes with it. But then I also had gotten a car seat that was from like Graco, and it was like a forever car seat or like a grow with me car seat. So it turned
Hmm.
into like once the baby outgrew that newborn one, then you could wear it as a regular toddler car seat and then a
Hmm.
back facing car seat, front facing, whatever. And then it
Take
goes
the
into like
pieces
a
off.
booster chair and then,
We have
all this
that.
other cool stuff. So this way you don't have to buy the booster chair separate and all
Yep.
this. So and then we had a baby swing that we would plug in. So you didn't have to wind it, you didn't have to put batteries, you would just plug it into the socket and it would go front and back. And also there was a
What?
setting that it would go side to side. So I had a kid who only liked side to side and I had a kid who only liked front and back. And then it was sometimes we would even
That's
angle
cool.
it at a different, like a diagonal. So it was like but yeah, that was really cool. And so bathtubs were difficult for me because some of the kids' bathtubs would smell like mildew, like, and I feel like they were hard to get. I don't know. So there was a bathtub, or they were slippery, or they looked uncomfortable. So we had gotten this bathtub from a friend, and I have to look up the brand, and I'll link it. But it was this huge, deep bathtub, and it had kind of like this little angle and then you can kind of grow with it. So she used it as a newborn and when she was 2 years old. So it was big. I don't know. I have to link it. Um,
Nice.
and and then as far as um let me see. Oh, other things was like Aqua 4. We used instead of a lot of the Desitin and stuff, we used Aqua 4 to prevent diaper rashes. And then we also used it when they were teething and they had any rash or baby acne. We would put the Aqua 4 on it, and it would help like clear it up
Mm.
real good. The same thing when, their lips peel when they're breastfeeding. I don't know if they do for formula fed babies, but we would put that too when their little lips would
You
peel.
just use your breast milk.
Yeah.
Breast milk heals everything.
And then I know that the white noise machine didn't work for you, but I swear by the white noise machine. And I would suggest having baby Tylenol on hand at all times, because you never know when they're going to have like a fever from teething or from just getting sick or something like that. And then speaking of sick, a humidifier. So you mentioned a humidifier too. Do you use the warm mist or the cool mist?
Use the cool one.
I think
And
we talked about this too on the show one time,
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't
we
even
did.
know there was different ones until you guys was talking about it.
We use the
Yeah.
cool one because sometimes they get sick in the summer and then it's like so hot in the room.
I think I need both. Because I have a warm mist, and I think I need a cool mist, because right now she has a little runny nose, and I don't want to put the warm one on because I feel like she's gonna sweat out. So yeah, it's probably good to register for both the cool and the warm, because the warm actually works really well in the winter because it's already cold, and it
Yeah.
kind of helps and kind of acts as a heater / breaking up all the mucus and stuff, and it's easier for her to breathe in. Did you have any more you wanted to add, Sharonya?
No, you guys mentioned like pretty much all the ones I had, like the click car seat, the car mirror, changing mat, like a to-go changing mat for when you're out shopping.
Yes.
The boppy, you guys mentioned nail clip. So we kind of covered all the
Did you
things.
guys have a Bumbo?
Yeah, we
You guys
did.
had one?
Bumbo? No, I think I just
Those
had a boppy.
Bumbo, they were like rubber type
Like
chairs.
a foamish?
Oh yeah, that's
That they
right.
would
I
learn to sit in.
barely even used it. It's like that little, yeah, I did have it, but it didn't.
It was one of the ones that I didn't really feel comfortable using a lot either, because I was worried. I heard that
They'd
some
fall
babies
out?
would tip over. Yeah, so I had to be like right there
It
just
looked
to
like
make
it was
sure.
gonna tip over, kind of, and it
Yeah.
was so short to the ground and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Last thing. We would always register for those electrical outlet socket covers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that
Like to
was a
baby
good one.
proof.
Yeah, they have
Baby proof
kits.
stuff.
So they have those for the sockets. They have it for the door handles so that they can't open the bathroom door or something. And they even have it for like the drilled ones for the cabinets and stuff.
To cover the corners of your tables.
Yeah.
I've seen those.
I should link. There's also one that if you have hooks, say you have door handles on your cabinets that are actual handle, not a knob. They have these cool ones that like link together. This way you don't have to drill it, but you link them together and it kind of like locks, and then it's easy to just take off. It was pretty cool, the ones that we had. This way we didn't have to drill, because we had just gotten the kitchen done and we didn't want to drill into the new cabinets.
That wouldn't scratch your cabinets?
They didn't scratch either.
no, it's like a little, almost like an oversized zip tag, and it was sent with the little lock on it.
Oh.
Yep. Okay. So I feel like if you're still listening, I hope this helps you, because I feel like this was so much information. Hopefully this helps you guys for your next baby registry or shopping for a friend, and cut out all the extra stuff that you don't really need,
Thanks so much for hanging out with us. If you want to catch up on our previous episodes, visit mamasmimosas.com, where you'll get access to all of our podcast show notes, our YouTube videos, and our private Facebook group, where we chat with you about each episode topic and host live question and answers with our favorite mom tribe. Can't wait to see you there.